When it comes to dash cams, there's one brand that's synonymous with the market, and that is BlackVue. And today we have the BlackVue DR900X series of dash cams that are their latest and greatest. Now when I say series, it's because there's two different options you can go with here when you go for this model of dash cam. You can either get the one channel one, so you just have a camera in the front recording at 4K Ultra HD quality, or you can go for the two channel option, which has a 4K Ultra HD camera in the front and a full HD 1080p camera in the back. Now personally, I always prefer to have cameras in the front and in the back and even on the sides if possible, because not everything just happens in the front, but you know, for the most part, the front usually gets the job done, but you know, better safe than sorry. These dash cams support a lot of different features, including BlackVue Cloud, so you can upload your footage to the cloud, so that way you always have it in the event of an accident, and it also supports Wi-Fi, so you can connect to the internet and even use it as a Wi-Fi hotspot for your other devices. Although the Wi-Fi hotspot option will require the BlackVue LTE module, which is a separate purchase, so you can actually connect this to an LTE network and broadcast that signal to your other devices. And then of course the cloud's gonna either require the LTE network, or you can connect it to another hotspot like on your phone and use that to get a lot of the features with this camera. As far as BlackVue Cloud goes, it has a bunch of different features, including live view, video playback, push notifications, real-time location, video backup, automatically uploading to the cloud, GPS tracking, and all that different stuff. And as far as the dash cam itself goes, we have 4K Ultra HD at 30 frames per second in the front, along with Full HD 1080p at 30 frames per second in the rear. We have an 8 megapixel front along with a 2.1 megapixel rear Sony Sarvis sensor. The camera supports up to a 256 gigabyte micro SD card, so you have tons of space. Has all the typical features of a dash cam, including 2.4 gigahertz and 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi connectivity, Bluetooth, G-sensor, and GPS. You can even use the camera as a mobile hotspot for your other devices, although that will require the BlackVue LTE module, which is sold separately. And of course, impact detection, loop recording, motion detection, time-lapse recording, low voltage cutoff, parking mode, all that stuff. And the good news is you can always update the firmware on this through the cloud to get new features as they come out. So like I alluded to before, we have the two channel option right here, one channel option here. You know, just for the sake of the video, we're gonna just throw the one channel option over there and take a look at the two channel option, because we have the best of both worlds. Now granted, shipping really did a number on this box, because they put the label on the box and put it in a separate box, and then it ripped off very cleanly. But it, you know, it is what it is. Box looking nice. It's got some weight to it, so let's get on inside. One of the good things about BlackVue is they always come with a micro SD card in the box, so you're already ready to go. This particular model has a 32 gigabyte micro SD card inside. It's small, it's useful, but you know, definitely get one bigger. Smooth. Alright, so inside the box we have both cameras here. As you can see, the 4K front camera is pretty big. I'm actually kind of shocked at how big this thing is. Wasn't expecting all that. But we do have a bunch of, you know, like cardboard shavings on it, and that's not a good look. I don't like that, but you know, I guess it'll just wipe off. First things first, we have the 4K Ultra HD forward-facing dash cam. Very nice, very big size like I was saying. Now the good news is, whether you get the one channel or the two channel option, you're gonna get the same camera, so you could always upgrade and get a rear facing camera to plug and play inside here. And it looks like we have a micro USB port. Now the good news is, I guess you're not gonna be using the micro USB port all too often, because it's like a fully connected dash cam, and plus you don't even need it for power, so there's that. I guess it's okay. I guess, maybe, a little bit. Yeah, it's better than others. But right here we have the rear camera input, the power input, along with the Wi-Fi connectivity button. If you want to put in the micro SD card, you pop this open. And then right here we have the micro SD card slot. It's not pre-installed, so we're gonna have to get that installed, but we can just close this back up. Very cool, flush. Over on the front we do have the nice 4K sensor, looking good, 8 megapixels. We have BlackVue Cloud 4K Ultra HD. Over on the left side we have a proximity sensor that you can customize, so you can wave your hand here if you want to do a manual recording, or even toggle the microphone on and off. Over on the back we have the record, GPS, BWL light, along with a speaker grill. Up here on the top we have a 3M adhesive strip, so you can actually attach this to your windshield very securely. And one of my favorite things about this style of dash cam, you can easily rotate this thing. So for example, you're driving, you get pulled over by a cop, you want to record your interaction, you don't have an interior dash cam, just easily just rotate this back. It records the inside of the cabin, so you can get everything on tape. Very cool. And plus, on top of that, it's just so easy to get it perfectly adjusted depending on what you want to record. Look at that. And it locks right into place. Amazing. And next, we have the rear-facing 1080p camera here. Definitely a lot smaller. I mean, look at that. It's like at least half the size. So right here, little lens cap on front of that 2.1 megapixel sensor. Let's cover that back up, keep it nice and clean. Down here, of course, we have another 3M adhesive strip so you can get this attached to your windshield. Over on this side, we have the cable input so you can run the cable to the main camera to make everything work correctly. And over on this side, we have an LED light that moves over to the front. So, I mean, very simple design for the rear camera. And also inside the box, we have a quick start guide, along with a box of accessories here, including a hardwire kit so you can have this hardwired to your car battery so it's always powered for parking mode. But of course, if you want to also do parking mode without hard wiring, they do have a battery pack that gets charged by your 12-volt battery while your car is on, and then it's this really big beefy battery. Link right here if you didn't see that before, because I did it a while back, and then that way you can always be powered without hard wiring anything. A lot easier. Then right here we have the cable that's going to connect both cameras together. As you can see, we have a long length so you can wire it from the front to the back of your car. We have the 12-volt power adapter to give power to the main camera, along with a pry tool, some sticky adhesives to run the cable, a micro SD card reader, very nice, and of course, I see it right here, this is what we've been looking for, the BlackVue branded micro SD card. So of course, we're gonna pop this open, grab our micro SD card, get it installed, get this closed, and now we're ready to go. So with that being said, I'm gonna head out to the car, get this thing installed, and we're gonna put it to the test, take a look at the app, and see how well it works. All right, so now we're inside the Tesla. I got the BlackVue cameras installed in both the front and the back of the car. So now let's get this thing set up properly inside of the app. You're gonna go inside your app store and download the BlackVue app, open it up, make sure you guys set up your account, do all that good stuff. And now we're greeted with the main screen where we can connect to the cloud, connect to the camera, download videos, and also access accessories such as the BlackVue battery. So for right now, we're just gonna connect to the camera. As you can see, we have the BlackVue 900X Plus and then some numbers. We're gonna tap on that. We're gonna join the Wi-Fi network that the camera is emitting. And just like that, we're connected, and as you can see, we can see all of our footage we have recorded on both the front and the rear camera. We can see if it was a normal recording that was just recorded, or an event because it detected some driving impact and automatically saved it. You can easily tap on a video, press OK, and just like that, we can watch the video. Right now we're looking at the front video. You can fast forward through it at will, and also on the top right, you can even switch to the rear video from the same recording. So that's actually pretty cool, so you can see both sides of the action. Up on the top right, you can tap on that if you want to download it, do all that good stuff. Very nice. Now while you're looking at the video screen, you can actually see on the bottom right, we can actually see a live view of the cameras as they are right now. As you can see, we're looking right at the front. Up on the top, we can switch to the rear camera and also see a live view of behind us. So that's very nice. But now that we saw the videos that are here, we can just go back, tap on the three dots, and right here we can actually go to the settings, so we can actually configure the camera how we like it. From this screen, we're gonna tap on firmware settings, and now we see all the settings of the camera. So as far as settings go, we have basic settings. We can tap on that. You can adjust the time and the time zone as well as the date, and even how you want it to be set up, whether you want year first, month first, whatever you want. You can adjust daylight savings, or just make it very easy and just sync with the GPS time. And then next we have video, which is gonna be one of the most important parts of a dash cam. So as you can see, we have it set at 4K Ultra HD at 30 frames per second for the front camera, as well as Full HD 1080p at 30 frames per second for the rear camera. As far as image quality goes, I have it set at highest extreme so I can get the best possible quality. And then we have recording options. So under here we have normal recording turned on, so it's constantly recording at all times in case something happens. We have parking mode recording turned on as a time lapse, or you can have it set to only record when there's motion or impact detected, or you can turn it off completely. But remember, you are going to need to have some power to it while your car is off in order for parking mode to work. So you can either do that with an always on plug, or if you have it hardwired into your car, or with the BlackVue battery pack, you can get and install that instead. Next, we can actually turn rear camera recording in parking mode on or off. Obviously, I would like to have that on, so why not? You can have voice recording turned on or off depending on where you are and if it's legal or not. We can have GPS location recording turned on or off, so that way you know exactly where something happened in your video. We have the date and time displayed on the video. Of course, that's nice to have. We have the speed units. You can have it kilometers per hour, miles per hour, or just turn it off completely in case you're speeding around and you don't want people to see how fast you're going. You can adjust the video segment length between 1 minute, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, etc. depending on how long you want each chunk of video to be. I just keep it at 1 minute so it's a smaller file in case I need to transfer it quickly off of the camera onto my phone. You can choose to lock event files, so if, for example, it detects an impact and saves a file, it'll lock it so it won't be overwritten as further videos are recorded. But it looks like you can even have it overwrite locked files with new event files when storage is full, which I guess you might want to have that on because if your storage is full of event files, something else drastic happens, you're going to definitely want to have that. But you should definitely have a pretty sizable micro SD card so that wouldn't be an issue. Next, we have front camera rotation. So like I said, you can have the camera facing forward, which is going to be normal, or you can flip it backwards to face you, but in that case, it's going to be upside down, so you're going to want to flip that over. And then rear camera orientation, we have it set to default, or you can rotate it 180 or even mirror the video. And now as far as sensitivity goes, we have the G sensor and motion detection. So in normal mode for G sensor, right now it's in the middle and I found out that's pretty sensitive. So if you hit any bumps in the road, it automatically saves it as an event file. So you might want to play with that depending on your streets and how often it gets triggered. And then we have the same thing for parking mode. I like to have this pretty sensitive because I want anything that happens to the car to be recorded. So that way I know something happened. Because if somebody taps your car and you're like, I never knew, but there's a huge dent over there, you'd like to know, even if it's a light tap that the camera normally wouldn't pick up if it's not sensitive enough. And then we have motion detection for parking mode, so you can actually have it set to pick up motion in certain quadrants of the video frame, so that way if somebody's walking by looking at your car, it'll start recording them in case they happen to do something. You can do that for both the front and the rear camera, so that's actually a very nice feature, so it only picks up in certain areas if you wanted to. Next, we have system options. So right here, we have the LEDs. You can have them turned on and off for each individual thing, such as recording status, front security in normal mode, front security in parking mode, rear security, Bluetooth in parking mode, LTE in parking mode, as well as Wi-Fi in parking mode. I like to have it on so I know that the camera's working at a glance. Next, we have the proximity sensor on the side, so you can actually have this either do nothing when you put your hand by it, or start a manual recording, or even turn voice recording on and off. I like to just have manual recording in case I see something happen, I can instantly save it. Next, we have the volume of the speaker. I like to have this all the way up so I can hear it right when I start driving. It's like BlackVue for your safe driving, so that way I know the camera's on and working. And also if something goes wrong, like the SD card is failing, it'll let me know and I'll be able to hear it. Next, you can actually schedule the camera to automatically reboot itself to clear out its cache and everything. You can have it set at a certain time, very nice. Next, we have speed alert. So if you happen to go over a certain speed and you don't want to be caught speeding, it'll be like, hey, you're going over 60 miles per hour, slow down. Pretty cool. Next, you can actually turn on a warning for hard acceleration. So if you happen to go over 7 miles per hour within, 1 second, then it's gonna be like, hey, you're kind of going really fast, what's going on? And then hard braking, if you slow down 8 miles per hour in a second, it's gonna be like, hey, something happened, why are you slowing down so fast? As well as hard cornering, if you go at a 60-degree angle within 2 seconds of driving above 9 miles per hour. Okay, pretty cool features here. And then we have battery protection, which is nice. So if the car's battery starts getting to a low voltage, the camera will turn off so it doesn't drain your battery, so your car will start in the morning. And then down here at the bottom is actually a feature that I like, although it depends on your use case, you might not actually need it, but you can actually put any custom text on the video hard coded. So right now, as you can see, I have RodrickViews. Why not? And I guess this can actually be good if you have multiple cars and you want to be able to keep track of which car the video is from. Next, we have Wi-Fi settings. So you can actually set up your login credentials. As you can see, you can customize your Wi-Fi name as well as change the password. And you can also adjust the Wi-Fi band, whether you want 5 gigahertz or 2.4 gigahertz. 5 gigahertz is going to be faster, although not as much range, but you're usually going to be sitting inside your car while you're messing with the dash cam, so it seems like a no-brainer. And you can even have Wi-Fi automatically turn off, but I like to have it on at all times so I don't have to do that when I need it in a pinch. And then we have cloud mode, so you can actually turn cloud services on and off, so it'll actually upload your footage to the cloud, so that way if somebody happens to steal your dash cam, steal the memory card after they commit a crime, you'll still have the footage in the cloud and can look at it later and transfer it over to the authorities. But of course, to do this, you are going to need to have an internet connection, whether it's a Wi-Fi hotspot in your car or the LTE module for the BlackVue camera itself. And last but not least, we have the firmware language, which you can set between all these different languages. I'm gonna just leave it at English so I don't get confused. And as you can see, pretty simple process setting up, although there are a bunch of features that some other dash cams don't have, so it's very nice to see. So now, let's go actually get some footage and see how well this thing actually looks. Alright guys, here we go. Time for some raw footage during the day outside. It's bright out here. Got lots of traffic out here. You can see the State Farm Arena to your right. Hopefully, I know it's a wide angle, so I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see that. But we got all these cars here, so let's take a look at some license plates and just how clear and crisp this 4K Ultra HD 30 frame per second footage is on the front, as well as the full HD 1080p footage on the back. I mean, right here it's as clear as can possibly be during the day right now, so I feel like everything should be extremely sharp. about having it on the front and the back. You can see things behind you as well as in front of you at the same time. Well, you know, pretty much. And in case you're wondering what city driving looks like, here we go. Slower traffic, bright day. Yeah, typical traffic, yeah. Take a look at license plates. Take a look at cars. Can you see people's faces? How good is the 4K Ultra HD at lower speeds? Like literally lower speeds. Under the speed limit speed. That's the kind of speeds we got over here, yeah. And let's stop at this light. There we go, perfect timing. You can see the yellow light and the red light as we come to a stop very gently. Alright, here we go. We got some more traffic here. This is what we're looking for. Unfortunately, I don't like traffic, but for this point, it's fine. Come on, Freeze, you can get in front of me. It's alright. Back over here. Freeze is still in front of me. Great. There's a Tesla right next to me. Let me hop on the Tesla right here. What's that thing? Trashla? The guy's license plate's pretty good. I hope you guys can see that. The Trashla. We just went over right here. Yikes. What is going on with this traffic? Why did that truck get over here? Why is the Tesla going back? I mean the Trashla. Why is the Trashla going back? Great. That drives crazy at night. Alright guys, here we go. It's time. You guys ready? Hold your breath as we go through and see if you survive right now. That's always a hard one, guys. Hope you guys survived. Whoa! You guys see that? This guy needs to stay in his lane. Good thing I have this camera on, am I right? Alright guys, now we're back. We actually got some driving footage in the day and the night, highway and the city, and we got the results here, and I mean, I'm somewhat disappointed. I kind of expected a lot better. Now, as far as the audio quality goes, which doesn't really matter too much unless you want to scream out a license plate just in case it didn't catch it in the frame, it's not good at all. It sounds really bad. It's heavily distorted, very muffled, very hard to hear anything. The quality's just so terrible, but remember, it's not the biggest deal ever, but honestly, I expected that to be a little bit better. Now, as far as video quality goes, which is the most important part, I'm shooting 4K 30 in the front, 1080p Full HD 30 in the back, and to be honest, I expected that to be better too. Like, I wasn't expecting to be super amazing because it is a small compact design, although I was expecting it to at least rival something similar to a GoPro because that's also a small camera, but it does look very good, at least during the day. At night, GoPros completely suck, so I guess you have to take your trade-offs where they are when you're having all these small cameras. Either you want good quality during the day and nothing at night, or okay quality during the day with some okay quality also at night. Now, with that being said, the nighttime footage is actually usable. It can definitely see at night, so that's a major plus right there. But during the day and at night, the quality is not as sharp as I would expect for a 4K recording. Like, it's okay, but to be honest, it almost just looks like it's an upscaled 1080p image, which I'm pretty sure it's not, but I guess the sensor just isn't as high quality and crispy clear as I was expecting. Now, with that being said, you can definitely see signs, see license plates, and all that good stuff usually, unless there's like a reflection on it, especially at night when your headlights reflect off the license plate. It's a little bit harder, so that's where the microphone comes in handy if you want to scream out what the license plate name is, because it's not going to pick it up. But I mean, for the price, although you do get the features such as cloud capabilities and all that, I feel like the video quality should be better, and you could actually get similar video quality from a much cheaper option. But like I said, one of the cool features about this camera by itself is that you can rotate this camera inward, so you can actually record what's going on inside. For example, if you happen to get pulled over, you want to record your interaction, but you don't have an interior camera. Although, of course, you could get an interior camera, but maybe you just don't want one recording at all times because you don't really need one. Now, maybe I'm being too tough on this, but you guys can let me know. You guys can see the unedited video footage for yourself along with the microphone quality footage, and let me know if you guys think it deserves to have the 4K moniker. But with that being said, I can recommend this dash cam if you want to have all those smart features as well as a reputable brand, because of course you don't want to get some off-brand cheap dash cam that happens to fail when you need it the most. So with BlackVue, at least I know I can trust it to work, so it's great to have that peace of mind. I'm just saying, the video quality I feel like could definitely be a lot better. But with that being said, it's still usable footage and definitely gets the job done both day and night, but there's some room definitely to improve.